All right, time for something heavy. The heavy hitters are here. Cosmo Macero of O'Neill Associates, Peter Kadgis of the Boston Phoenix. What was your favorite video game of all time, Cosmo?
Probably Asteroids. Actually, Galaga. Galaga was my favorite.
I was a Galaxian guy.
Galaxian was good. Galaga, I was topset in Harvard Square, yeah.
I can't ask a guy in a bow tie what video game he liked. It doesn't make sense.
I'm too old.
Pong?
Those little... Pong might do it. Electronic chess, maybe? I mean,
his favorite video game is the Kindle. Something along those lines. Let's get serious for a minute, gentlemen. Herman Cain. Well, I don't know if that means we're getting serious.
Says who?
Woman number 4 has come through. One wonders where this chart stops. Does it get to 999? She's now giving details, and it's a little more than my wife is as tall as you. A, what do you make of her story, Cosmo? B, when Herman Cain addresses this today in front of the media, as a consultant, what do you advise him to say?
The story sounds credible enough to be a real problem. Look, I'm all for being on message, which is what Herman Cain has tried to do. Probably getting some bad advice, though. He needs to tell a story here. I don't mean he needs to refute what he's saying. He needs to tell his story and lay this out, lay out some facts, be kind of strategic and specific about it, and talk about this to try to set it aside and at least get it off to the side so he can keep campaigning on his issues, whatever they may be. Because you know what? Trying to stay on message and saying, you know what? Everything that's come out about this, that's all there is to say. It's not working.
As his handler, how many questions do you allow him to take today?
Probably about 5 or 6. But
That's the most.
But he's got to really. It's not about answering the questions. It's about having your story and just using those questions to respond and give your message, give your story. But he better be tight. He better be tight on this.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's less what he says and more how he says it. And I have to tell you, looking at his performance so far, this guy is no Bill Clinton. I mean, Bill Clinton could look straight at the camera and very convincingly say, I did not have sex with that woman, or I did not harass that woman. You know, that's what people want in the president. Someone who can lie. Someone who can lie convincingly. Someone who can look across the table at the Chinese and stare them
He's
down.
not ready for prime time because he can't lie in the camera.
Exactly, and he breaks out into a sweat.
Bill Clinton was buying himself a lot of time with that line, as we ultimately learned. So does Cain buy himself some time with a refutation, with a denial, or does he come out with some kind of acknowledgement of things and see if that can get him past it? I'm not sure, but he's got to do something, and he better not get up there and just say, I'm not addressing this next question. I mean,
Well, it's telling that his wife, who was about to give her very first interview, has just canceled it. So we know that whatever's going on, it has reached the inner sanctum at the Cain household. But I have to say that as much as this is great media circus, I don't think it's scored within the Republican Party. Democrats,
the latest poll, he's doing okay, but we'll see the next one.
We'll see the next one.
Keep in mind, I think that to Peter's point, the whole wife dynamic, once it hit that point with Elliot Spitzer, that's when we started to hear something different from him. I think we may start to hear that from Herman Cain.
I got to hold it right there because it's election day today, boys.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to read about it myself. The Globe tells me that although he's not running for anything, Menino is a big power player in today's elections. A, give me a local election you're watching. B, is Menino really a power player today?
I think the mayor of Boston is always a power player if he wants to be. I guess the question is how motivated he is to have an impact here. I live in the city of Cambridge. There's council races. There's school committees. There's about 18 council candidates for 9 seats. There's a dozen school committees for 6. Pick a number, take a name out of a hat. Cambridge is a well-run city regardless, so it doesn't really matter how their democracy works.
Will the Islamic holiday affect the school committee vote, Cosmo? We'll have to wait and see, I guess.
It could have an impact, I guess.
Well, listen, this is this citywide and district city council elections in Boston is, as I see it, the opening shot of Mayor Menino's re-election bid in 2 years. Take a look at the race in Dorchester, which is maybe the most tightly fought local race that I've seen in 20, 30 years, where you have O'Toole supported by the mayor and Frank supported by the forces of labor. And it's like I said, it's rather like the Spanish Civil War, and I think that will be telling. But
does Michael Flaherty get back on the city council, or does the mayor crush him?
I don't know whether he gets on or not. I mean, Flaherty has a lot of support citywide. Let's not forget, when you're mayor as long as Mayor Menino has been, you pick up a lot of enemies, and a lot of those enemies are naturally going to vote for Flaherty.
The mayor's race in Fitchburg going to be very interesting. Mayor Wong, the first woman Asian American chief executive in the Commonwealth, in deep trouble. We'll see how that one plays out as well. Quickly, Cosmo, I got a minute left. Conrad Murray, Michael Jackson's doctor, convicted yesterday in voluntary manslaughter, could do 4 years. Your thoughts?
It seems about right. I got to tell you, I haven't paid a lot of attention or cared much about this case because I haven't been that excited about where this thing is going. I mean, it seems like, okay, there's the verdict, and we all move on.
When you paid $150 a month to take care of someone,
$150,000.
I'm sorry, thank you, and he dies on your watch, you're going to be found guilty of something. I began this trial, thinking, oh, this is just a witch hunt. I followed it, not real closely, but I followed it like the average person. I've read it every day in the paper. And I'll tell you this, he's certainly guilty of not being a very good doctor.
It's certainly, I guess it's a caution to the medical profession. If you're going to get involved in this sort of concierge, one-client medicine, you better be careful, because if you got one client, one patient, everything better go well.
None of us are crying for Conrad Murray today, is what we're saying. No. Peter Catches of the Phoenix, Cosmo Macero, Vanino Associates. Get to the polls, boys. You'll be the only ones that do if you do. So, the heavy hitters. Kim Kerrigan, back to you in Dedham.